Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the Central RiverHawk YouTube channel as we continue our series talking to Central athletes. Last week, we had a chance to talk to Antoine Hardy. This week, we go to the other side of the ball and get a chance to talk to an offensive superstar in the form of Henry Meyer. Henry, thank you for joining us. Got a lot to talk about today.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, Nami.
Yeah, so you've obviously had a terrific season so far. I'll go over your stats here really quick. In game one against Eau Claire North, you had 3 catches for 43 yards and a touchdown. And then in game two, just a couple days ago, you had 2 catches for 32 yards and 2 touchdowns. Both your catches were touchdowns against Eau Claire Memorial. 2-0 for the RiverHawks as they end the non-conference part of the season and begin the conference season starting on Friday at Reedsburg. Henry, give me a little recap of the game from last Friday against Memorial. You had the 2 catches for touchdowns. What did you think about the game? Did we play well? Are there areas of improvement? What were your thoughts?
Well, I thought we played really well in the second and third quarter. Obviously, everyone knows that, but we started slow defensively, but I have complete faith, and our entire offense has complete faith in our defense that we can go out and get stops. So, we were a little surprised that they broke that 50-yard touchdown, but we just knew it was our responsibility to go down and get one. And Christian did that. So shout out Christian. Thank you for doing that. And then we knew our defense would get stops. And, towards the end of the game, they gave up some touchdowns, but that's fine because we put up 45. I mean, if you take away some of those mistakes, we would have put up 60, 70 points, but nothing, can't be mad about putting up 45 and winning by 15 on the road. So I'm just proud of our guys for sticking with it, especially those second, third quarters. And, Coach Olson, he knows we got to clean up some mistakes. We're going to work on that in practice this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I talked on the broadcast about the fact that Coach Olson's going to get a victory on Friday night, but there's lots to work on, lots to improve on. And, when you get to make those corrections after a victory, that's even an added bonus. So definitely things to work on, but a lot, as you mentioned, the second and third quarter, I thought the third quarter you guys played about as clean as possible. Fourth quarter got a little bit sloppy, but you mentioned the first game, defense pitches a shutout. The defense kind of carried the day. Second game, it was on the offense, and you talked about scoring 45 points, could have scored even more, left some points out on the field, but that's good complementary football, and I think that's going to be a strength of this RiverHawk team as we go along here with the season. Speaking of the season, how do you think it's gone so far? Obviously 2-0, so I'm guessing you're happy where we're at. What do we have to look forward to now as we get ready for this conference season?
I think you guys as fans have a lot to look forward to. Like we have 2 units on both sides of the ball that really like lean on each other. I think we haven't had that like I know my sophomore year we went 7-2. We had a little bit more of that, but last year that was kind of lacking. I think we have 2 cohesive units that are playing for each other. Like offense turns the ball over, defense goes out, says, I got you, we'll get a 3 and out, and vice versa. So I think that fans are going to see a team that plays well together, has great chemistry, and hopefully win some games.
Well, as a fan, I can tell you it's certainly been exciting so far through 2 games this year. I want to talk a little bit about Jude Alvarado, your quarterback. It seems like you guys have developed a pretty good rapport with each other. Does that just happen by stepping on the field, or has there been some work behind the scenes that has made that relationship kind of blossom?
Well, there's been some work behind the scenes that went in over the summer and, just in the month of July at some team days and stuff. I was out of town a lot in the summer with travel basketball. So I know he got a lot of work in with Aaron and Maddox Rulitsky, Connor Groth. And whenever I was in town, we would get some work in. And then going back to last year when Mason Elston went down, me and Jude developed a bit of an early connection. My junior, his sophomore year, and I know a lot of guys think of him as more of a like Justin Fields, Lamar Jackson type of guy, but he can throw the ball. Like he put some of those puppies on the money, and we got to give Jude more credit for his arm talent.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're seeing him. He's got 2 really good weapons on the outside, and you and Aaron Poma, and he's able to utilize those by putting the ball where it needs to be. I think you're absolutely right. Jude deserves some flowers for the way he's played so far. Let's talk a little bit about Aaron Palmer. You mentioned him already. How fun is it to be able to line up with a guy on the other side? Pretty similar to you, to be honest. Great route runner, good hands, able to go up and catch those 50-50 balls. How fun is it to have kind of your carbon copy on the other side of the field?
It's awesome, man. Like, it's so hard for opposing defenses because they'll oftentimes have to pull a guy out of the box, and that lets our offensive line and our star running backs get working, get those good gains. And then also, like, I mean, Aaron's a dog. That dude, he runs crispy routes. He knows what he's doing. So, like, it's a luxury for me because, like, in basketball, they talk about assists. Like, every touchdown I score is almost an assist for Aaron because he's drawn 2 defensive backs to the other side of the field and vice versa. So, I just love playing with him and Jude, and we've developed a great connection this year and the summer. So it's been fun.
Yeah, football, really the ultimate team game. Anything that happens is a result of everybody else that did work as well.
Yeah, and one more thing, Nami.
Yeah.
Aaron, he puts in so much work, like, over the summer. I know, like, ever since that season ended, we lost to River Falls. That kid was doing cone drills, and he state qualifier for track. Like, that guy, like, all coaches should know that he puts in the work, and he deserves everything that's coming for him this year because he's gonna have a big year.
And it definitely shows off with the type of year he's having so far. Excited to get Aaron on one of our interviews here coming up pretty soon. I want to talk about Henry Meyer as the player right now. So you had a long throw to you. You had beaten your defender by 2 or 3 steps. The ball landed right in your hands and it went right through your hands. It would have been a touchdown. And I know you probably don't want to talk about that, but I want to bring it up because there's 2 reasons I want to bring it up. Number one, your offensive coaches, and I knew they would, but your offensive coaches about 2 or 3 plays later got the ball right back to you. And the second reason I want to talk about it is because as soon as, and I even said on the broadcast, as soon as Jude let go of the ball, I knew that was a touchdown because I knew there was no chance you were going to drop that again. Tell me a little bit about having that resiliency, being able to pick yourself up when something doesn't go your way, and being able to be ready for that next opportunity.
Yeah, first of all, I would like to apologize to Jude for dropping that. Would have got him about 20 more yards in the air, but we still punched it in, so it's all right. But yeah, it was a normal route. I beat my guy. Usually I don't drop too many of those. I saw it. I was like, I thought touchdown too early. Looked up before I had the ball in my hands, and I mean, it didn't even really touch me. It just went right through my hands, but no excuse for that. But shout out Coach Colburn because like, for him having confidence in me as a player because he knows I don't drop too many of those. So, and I mean, Jude put both of those right on the money, and just Colburn having the confidence in me as a player and a receiver to go out and get a little bit of revenge for that one. I appreciate that, and just glad that it all worked out.
And he did it early. Coach Colburn got it back to you early, so you didn't have a lot of time to sit there and think about that, which I think is key. So shout out to your coaches who I think do a phenomenal job on our strength of the RiverHawk football team.
Right.
Sports oftentimes imitate life, and in life we oftentimes have things not go our way. Being able to pick ourselves up and be ready when the next opportunity comes, such a key asset, and I think that's something that high school sports can teach young people like you.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about some of your personal goals. What, at the end of the year, wherever we end up, what are you hoping to have accomplished personally with this football program?
Honestly, I'm just hoping my goal for every game is 1 touchdown and 1 win. So I don't care what else happens. I mean, I just want to win. I want to, touch that end zone. But deeper than on the field, it's just like our connection this year as a team has just been so great. So I just hope that continues week by week. And, my goal is just to have fun this year, work hard with my teammates, and leave a legacy on Central football. We're trying to get that conference championship. We haven't got it since like early 2010. So, we've got some revenge to seek. So my goals are to score as many touchdowns as possible and to win as many games. So
yeah, I think both those are really good goals to have. You mentioned the conference championship. Antoine Hardy mentioned the same thing last week. So we'll see what happens here as we start the conference season again at Reedsburg Friday night. the Central YouTube channel may or may not be broadcasting. We're having some issues finding some spots in the press box when we go to some of these other schools that don't have the press box that UWL has. Sometimes it's harder for us to find a spot to set up, but we're trying to figure it out. We're working behind the scenes to see if we can bring you that game. I really, really want to.
We
All
gotta
right,
get you on
Henry.
the sideline, Nami.
What's that?
We gotta get you on the sideline.
Well, yeah, yeah. I don't need to be on the sideline. I don't need to be getting rolled up on and get hurt and all that. We don't need that for sure. I need to be as far away from football field as possible. I can guarantee that. I want to talk a little bit about basketball season coming up. I know that you're probably not thinking about that, but that is probably your number one sport. I think you would agree that that's your number one sport. Are you excited for basketball? Are you trying to not think about basketball with this football season? I'm sure that we'll talk to you in the winter during basketball season, so we'll get lots of basketball talk in. But I'm just wondering, how does that work? So you got this basketball season coming up. That's your main sport. That's what you're really focused on. But right now you're in the middle of the grind with the football season. How do you kind of compartmentalize those two sports?
Yeah, that's like a big thing for me because especially with your body, I can't kill my body, especially my lower body before, just looking ahead for week 6, 7, 8, when you're really gonna feel it. And then obviously, because we're gonna have a playoff run, it's gonna be a short break in between football and basketball. So I'm getting usually it's either about 6 days a week, either 1 or 2 workouts in for basketball. And like my workouts consist of 45 minutes to like an hour and 15 minutes on the court. And really, I focus on using my time wisely, so I'm not spending extra time on my legs. So, for example, I would get up in the morning, eat a breakfast, go get a good hour of solid work that gets you better at basketball. Come home, relax, ice my body, go work my tail off in practice, and then if I'm up for it, I'll get some more shots up or ball handling at the night. But if I'm feeling a little too dog tired, I'll hit the hay. So that's what I'm not thinking about the season, but basketball is a skill driven sport. And, I obviously have my goals for basketball, so I've got to keep working on that. So,
yeah, definitely. Sports these days are pretty much year round. And so when you're a multi-sport athlete, trying to find the time to make sure that, you're giving the amount of time to each sport is important, and that can be a challenge. And so I like how you said that, listening to your body, understanding, do I have energy to go do my workout, or do I need to take a day off? Because rest is just as important as getting the work in. And so you've been able to do it, and I have confidence you'll be able to continue doing it as we look forward to that RiverHawk basketball season. Well, go ahead.
Also, Coach Olson, he's very supportive of my basketball career. Like, he understands that I have to do what I have to do outside of football. Like this summer, I had to miss a couple team days for AAU events, and he understood completely and is very supportive, and I appreciate that. And as well, Coach Ferget also knows for the football side of things, so I just appreciate those two guys.
Yeah, really, really important as coaches in high school to understand that you're all working with the same athletes, and everybody has the same goal. We all want to win in every sport that we play. And in order to do that, our guys got to be working, and the pressure really comes down on you because you're the one putting in all the work. But yeah, definitely the coaches have to be able to get along with each other and figure out how they can separate that time to make sure that you're getting the most out of both sports, or as many sports as you're in. All right. I want to talk about Larry's Dairy a little bit. Obviously, one of our sponsors. We're very, very grateful for that. You get to see the logo for Larry's Dairy a couple times each broadcast. Henry, tell me about how Larry's Dairy started. Tell me about what you do, and then get some advertising in for yourself. Let's try and make some money on this end of the interview broadcast here.
Yep. So, pretty much in middle school, like my dad, I was thinking of like just because I always have had like an entrepreneurial drive in me. So like we were just thinking of things, and my dad like thought of an ice cream bike. So then come to my summer, or it was more the winter, spring going into my junior year. I was like, I should try and put this into action. So I bought like a trailer and a Yeti cooler, and we would use dry ice, and then I would go to Sam's Club and get the ice cream, and I'd go around town on like sunny days, and I would have a speaker and play music, and I would also do events. And then after that summer, we were able to buy a bigger ice cream bike. So it's like a tricycle. It has an actual cooler. So we like a box freezer that is insulated, and it comes with freezer packs, so we don't have to spend money on dry ice every time, which is nice. So yeah, and I do a lot of events. So like I did a wedding last fall up in Stoddard, which was fun. I had Peyton Strittmatter help me out with that because I was injured with my collarbone. So he was scooping some ice cream with me. We do events like birthday parties, some graduation parties. And then I also, which is probably my favorite aspect of the business, is I host these tournaments. Like I do spike ball tournaments, cornhole tournaments. We just did a basketball tournament, and I've getting a lot of requests for like pickleball tournaments. So I would do like an entry fee, and yeah, and that was in the summer, and then all the money would go back to the winner, and then I would just make my profits off of ice cream. And I also had shirts that I sold out. Shout out Mr. Pangier for hooking me up with some very impressed by the quality of those puppies. I'm gonna need to order some more. So that's the biz. Follow Larry's _dairy on Instagram, or text me at 608-881-1513 if you would like any catering or a birthday party or whatnot, or you just like to learn more about the business. Please hit me up.
And how cool, like at a wedding, that's awesome. Get to go to the reception and people can get their ice cream. That's a great idea. And I'm sure you'd be willing to do more if you get any opportunities. So people out there listening to our interview today, if you got a big event coming up, find Henry. You got his number. You got his, what was that, Instagram? Is that what it was?
Instagram, yep.
You got his Insta. So get in contact with Henry and he'll make sure that you have all the ice cream. I can speak from experience. The ice cream is excellent. I've hit up Larry's Dairy a couple times. And I like that you mentioned Rob Pangier from Games People Play, who also is one of our donating sponsors. So like our donating sponsors helping each other out. And now we just need the community to help out as well. Make sure you are visiting our sponsors and making them realize that their money that they donated to us is helping their business. So help out Larry's Dairy, help out Henry with that. As we are certainly appreciative. We would not be able to bring you the broadcast that we bring you if it wasn't for our donating sponsors like Larry's Dairy. And so we want to continue. We're going to try and bring you over 100 events this year from Central High School. That's my goal. Joel doesn't think we can do it. I think we can. We're at 3 or 4, so we're getting there. That school hasn't started yet, so I still got some time. Henry, I just want to let you know, and you know this because I've told you this before, but I've enjoyed watching you since you were, I don't even know how old, 5 years old, playing with Zach and basketball and football and all this stuff. I feel like I've known you forever. I've really enjoyed watching you as an athlete. I've enjoyed watching you grow. I've enjoyed watching you hone your craft and really become one of the best athletes at Central High School and continue to be one of the best athletes at Central High School. I'm excited for football. I'm really excited for your basketball season, as I think we're going to see a really good season from you. And you know, like I told Antoine, I'm one of your biggest fans. I'm really proud of all the work that you've put in and all the successes you've had, and I hope that continues. I want to say thank you for joining me today and helping us with our interviews. And just, you know, keep it up, and I'm looking forward to watching you here as we go through the rest of the school year.
Yes, sir, Nami. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the support you've given me over the years since my youth days. You know, that means a lot. Just playing with Zach, obviously one of my best friends, and then just you and Joel keep doing a phenomenal job, Nami. I appreciate you guys.
Well, we appreciate you, Henry. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this chance to get to meet Henry Meyer. He's awesome, isn't he? And so you can prove to him how awesome you think he is by visiting Larry's Dairy and getting him some business. We will be live we might not be live. I don't know. We're going to try to be live Thursday night as the volleyball team travels to Aquinas. We're trying to get that set up. A lot of behind the scenes stuff going on. And then we're also going to try to be live Friday night at Reedsburg if we can find a spot to sit, not on the sidelines like Henry thinks I should do, but up above where I'm not going to get hit by anybody. So be sure to subscribe to the Central YouTube channel. That way you'll get notifications when we have an event going on. Otherwise, just make sure you're watching to see. We'll have updates on Twitter, Joel's Twitter, or my Twitter, or Mr. Ambrose's Twitter, letting you know what events we'll be able to broadcast live for you. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good evening.